Hello, everyone. I'm Ron Grant, coming to you live and direct from Tortola in the Virgin Islands. You're watching 284 Media. Thank you so much for your time. It is festival in the Virgin Islands, and one of the beautiful things about enjoying our emancipation celebration is that we get to see familiar faces who we have not been able to see for quite some time. One of those familiar faces happens to be Virgin Islands creative director and stylist, the one and only Travie Rozae, who has been doing some amazing things in the scene of creative directing as well as styling. He has some amazing projects that has just taken place, and he's taking some time to sit down with us while he's at home to speak about the journey and, of course, his process. We'll be right back after a quick commercial.
Orange alert! Orange alert!
Fire is spreading across the BVI. The fastest, most reliable, and affordable fiber internet service is here for you. Look out for Fire in these new locations: Slaney, Duff Bottom, Manual Reef, Seacows Bay, Albion, Hannah's, Palestina, Pleasant Valley, and Havers. Fiber is in your area. Call 444-4444 or visit a CCT store to find out more and bring it home. More locations coming soon.
There are many ways to enjoy life, like so many ways to count on Popular.
Welcome back, everyone, and thank you so much for sticking with us. As promised, we are joined by creative director and stylist extraordinaire, the one and only Travie Rozae. Travis, welcome home.
Thank you.
First of all, and welcome to our studios. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here.
Absolutely. Now, as I mentioned, you've been, in my opinion, doing quite a phenomenal job in making leaps and bounds within the creative industry. Always been a creative, but of course, in different aspects. Many persons would remember you as an artist, of course, in the early stages, and you've now transformed and really transcended the creative industry. Tell us about that journey and how you got into being a creative director and stylist.
Yeah, so I feel like you said, I've always been a creative. It started with music. Ever since I was little, I remember just sitting at home watching music videos, award shows, performances with my parents, my mom specifically. And I always wondered or was fascinated by the clothing that they were wearing, their performances and, the hair, the makeup, the style. But at that point, I wasn't really well educated or versed on the fact that a creative director is an actual job and it exists, right? So initially I said, I want to be the artist. And that's what I did at first. But slowly I started to realize that it wasn't really sitting right with me. The studio, the long hours, no, not really my thing. And it wasn't until I moved to Atlanta for school, studied marketing and finance at Georgia State University, that I got introduced to what a creative director and a stylist was, by way of just joining like a group that they had on campus. And from there, my love for that just sparked. It came full circle, all those days of watching music videos and just sitting at home with my mom, looking at just wardrobe and hair, makeup, and just the whole process of putting it together. It came full circle for me, and I said, yes, that's exactly what I want to do.
Excellent.
And then, it's not an easy road because it's not a specific way you have to be a creative director, but I guess it was just in me, and I started just putting my creative passions to the test, doing photo shoots, video shoots, and then it landed me in some great places.
Beautiful. And speaking of landing you in some great places, you recently completed a project with ESPN for their WNBA series. You were styling the stylist, part of the stylist team for that project. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so actually it was during, I got the call for that project while I was at the Vicons. So it was really a full circle moment, and I was really hyped to do it because I wanted to do it for my country, and although it was challenging because I was simultaneously, I'm here, but they're asking me to wardrobe style the artist Lakia, and it's, shooting in LA, but I'm always rising to the challenge, right? And I always want to make sure that I put my best foot forward. So I made it happen. So it's basically the WNBA All-Star official anthem. It's called Can't Get Enough, starring Lakia, Bia, and Flage. And I was styling Lakia for the video. So yeah, it came out really, really, really good.
Phenomenal, and congratulations on that. I want to talk about your process. And when I say that, I mean, we've seen the transition, of course, within the creative space, but I want to speak to that. For persons who might be looking, young creatives, and not necessarily sure of the avenue they want to take, perhaps even oftentimes being a bit apprehensive as well, and scared, because the creative process, as you know, is a quite vulnerable space in sharing your work with the rest of the world. Tell us about your inspiration, your motivation, and how you've been able to maneuver that space.
So I feel like I'm very influenced by my surroundings. My edge comes from being Caribbean and being from the Virgin Islands. I'm very inspired by color, metallics, just what I see, just even when festival time right now, look at all the flags, you know? I think that plays a major role in how I style. And I think even as a creative, a lot of what I do, it just comes from my experiences, whether it being when I lived in Atlanta or now I'm living in California. The things that I see, the events that I go to, I'm very inspired by one of my biggest role models is Rihanna. So I follow her journey a lot, and just seeing her come from such humble beginnings, that motivates me to do the same thing in, you know, my journey, right? And I would say to any creative that creating, for me, I've realized over the years, come from a very spiritual place. I think, not to get too preachy, but it's the Holy Spirit that is in you that is allowing you to manifest and execute a lot of these different things. So for me, I always let God lead with whatever it is that I'm doing. And I think that it has helped me and allowed me to reach great heights.
Amazing. And thank you for sharing that aspect. You talked about being Caribbean gives you that edge. But for some, being Caribbean oftentimes limits them. What do you say to the creative who feels that because they're from, as Rihanna says, a left side of an island, that their dreams are perhaps a little bit too big and unreachable?
Nothing is too big. Nothing is unreachable. Like I said before, when you have God, nothing is unreachable. For me, I always say, I don't know how I got these jobs, because it's not much of an effort from me. I just show up, you know? I just show up, do exactly what it is that I know I'm capable of doing, because always growing up, I've been instilled with that confidence from my parents and the people around me, my friends who I surround myself with. So I know that I'm capable of doing a lot. And when you have God, he's able to do a lot more than you could even expect.
Of course.
Right?
Yeah,
so
indeed.
Yeah, nothing is too big.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
What would you say is next for Travie Rozae?
So I have a lot of new things coming out. Besides, you know, being in the creative director and stylist role, I have a lot of music videos coming out. So I'm excited for that to share. Can't say too much about that yet. But as a creative, I'm always elevating. I'm always evolving into something else. So one project that I'm super excited about right now is an adult animation series called Influencer High.
Okay.
So if any investors are looking to get their show on Netflix, YouTube, Hulu, you heard it here first.
All right.
But yeah, I'm excited about that. And then I have a lookbook coming out. So that would basically be like a coffee book that, you know, I'll be producing, that have a bunch of different looks, all inspired by, you know, styles that I've done in the past, styles that I want to do in the future, and just inspired by like the Caribbean and, you know, home.
Amazing. Well, I wish you the very best in each of those endeavors.
Thank you.
Before we go, because it is festival,
Yes.
Tell us about your favorite Virgin Islands cuisine.
Ooh. What am I missing right now? I feel like I'm gonna go down a whole list because I haven't had a lot. I feel like right now I would have to say mutton.
Okay.
Yeah,
Good.
mutton and yeah, anything with macaroni pie. I'm good. Yeah.
Do you have a favorite Virgin Islands drink? It could be alcoholic or non-alcoholic.
I don't think so.
Okay.
My palate is wide open.
Gotcha. Do you have a favorite Virgin Islands pastime?
Sailing, for sure.
Okay. Beautiful choice. Do you have a favorite sister island?
Virgin Gorda.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And finally, if you could take anyone from Virgin Islands yesteryear to lunch or dinner, that simply means that they're no longer with us. Who would that person be and why?
It would have to be my grandma.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely. I miss her so much.
All right. Wonderful. Well, happy festival. Congratulations on all the amazing work that you're doing, and thank you for your time.
Thank you so much for having me.
You're most welcome. Viewers, that is all the time we have. You've been hearing it first, of course, from the one and only creative director, stylist extraordinaire, Virgin Islander, Travie Rozae. Much congratulations to you. Happy festival, everyone. Enjoy. Goodbye.